Alright, what's going on, y'all? This right here is gonna be a little bit different than my normal videos. I've been wanting to say this for a long time. I've been really wanting to tell everybody what's been going on. But it's like, how do you tell people what's going on? Will they believe you? And if they don't believe you, the only other option is they think you're fucking crazy. See, the two options: they think you're a fucking liar, or they think you're crazy. Each one of them is bad. So I really just chose not to say nothing to the majority of people. I've told like a good 8 people throughout my life, people who I trust. But like, other than that, I couldn't really trust people. So I'm gonna start off by saying this story that I'm about to tell you, this experience that I'm about to tell you, is one of many. And I have to tell you all these things before I die. You feel me? Before this body dies. So, I'm gonna be making like a couple videos telling the different experiences that I've had over the course of my life about the shit that's happened to me that makes me who I am, that makes me the person who I am, that makes me have the mentality that I got. I took my glasses off so that you guys can look me dead in my eyes and see what I'm saying to be true, see what I'm saying to be real. Like, because I got glasses, but I don't want the light to reflect and you not be able to see my eyes. And then a lot of people hide behind shades and shit, so that's really why I'm excluding it right now. But this starts when I was like, first time I've had this experience. I'm gonna start off with the first experience that I've ever had consciously, that I've ever had. First experience that I ever had was when I was like a good 7, 8, or 9 years old. I don't remember exactly what age it is. I'll be a fucking liar to sit up and be like, oh, so and so years old. I'm not that type of guy. I'm gonna sit here and tell you what it really was. I don't remember what age I was, but it was in between the ages of 7, 8, and 9. So what happened is there was a Fox News special that was coming on that night about alien autopsies, right? And I was like, as a kid, what the fuck is that? You know what I'm saying? It was black and white video from like some type of archives from Area 51 or some shit where they were doing an autopsy on aliens. And Fox News was really about to put that shit on the news. So it's like, tonight, boom, 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 you know how they do. Tonight, we got so-and-so and so-and-so on the news. Alien autopsy, alien autopsy. And then it was like sensationalizing it and shit. So me as a kid, I was like, oh shit, what the fuck is that? It's a fucking monster. Let me see what it is. And so it was on at like, I believe like 11 o'clock at night or some shit like that. And my parents, I had a bedtime. They knew it was like, bro, get your ass to bed. So when it was time to go to bed, I was like, no, like a little kid. I was like, no, I want to watch it. I want to watch it. Crying and shit. Excuse me, crying and shit. My dad was like, get your sissy ass in the bed. He used to not like no crying or that shit. He used to call it faggot shit. Sorry for disclaimer, no homophobic shit coming from me. This is just what my dad used to call me and say and shit in regards to like when he would see me with a quote unquote sense of weakness. So it's like, get your sissy ass to the bed. Fuck all that crying, that faggot shit. That's what he'd say and whatnot. So long story short, after me like bickering and going back and forth with him, I had to go my ass to bed because I was young. You feel me? It was like, you're a kid, get your ass in bed. So I'm in bed crying and shit, trying to go to sleep and shit. These motherfuckers out there having a good time and shit. I'm in the bed crying and shit. Ain't even nowhere near time for the shit to come on either. It's like a good couple hours out before the shit come on. I had to go to bed at like 9 or like 10 or some shit like that. Shit came on at 11 or something. But so I finally cried myself to sleep. And I woke up in the middle of the night. And it was, you know, those little amber night lights that be like, with the little cover. It's the night light with the switch on it, with the cover on that bitch. And it's like amber color. You feel me? That was the only light in the room. So I'm laying on my bed like this. To the left of me, which is off the side of the bunk bed. To the right of me is the side. It's the wall and the window. It's a window right here and a wall right here. There's a window right here and a wall going all the way down. This side is the bed, the edge of the bed. You feel me? My sister's above me in a bunk bed. I'm sitting down here. The night light's right there. Kitchen door is up here by my head. And the hallway door was down there by my feet to the left. There was a little bit more space because the room wasn't that small, you feel me? But it was a little bit of space down there. Boom. Door to the hallway. This was the doorway to the kitchen. So I woke up with a sense of, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? A sense of fear in my heart. So I was looking, the hallway door was open, kitchen door was closed, amber light was on. I was like, all right, we good. The amber light is on, so we good. We got a little night light to see. Looked in the darkness of the hallway. And I was like, yeah, we're good. I feel a sense of fear, but like I knew something was like fucked up, but I felt a sense of fear. So I was like, nah, but we good though. We good. So I turned back over in my bed. You know what I'm saying? Put my I used to put my covers like under my nose and over my ear. Like so I was like turned over like that. And something in me was just like, no, bro, there's something there. Like, look. So I turned back over. And inside my doorway, bro, like real shit, inside my doorway, this far from the top of the doorway. So this motherfucker was at least like 6'9". You know what I'm saying? Like 6'9". Because each doorway is like 7 feet tall. They make them generally 7 feet tall nowadays. And back then, 7 feet tall. So it had to be like 6'9". His head was like this shape. I'm trying to make it to where y'all could see the shape. So where the concave of my hand goes is like I will be cupping his cheekbones right here, and then the jaw, and then the chin. So his head was like this. If you could see the shape that I'm trying to show y'all through fucking hands, I don't think you could really see it like that, but the shape was like this. The eyes were like, I'm trying to think, see something that could resemble it. It's kind of like this, but really, 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 really shiny. Have you ever seen a memorial, like a marble memorial, where you go and you see the veterans like names and shit, and you can go down and see all the people that died in the war? It looked just like if you were to look into that marble. You could still see yourself, but there's like a layer of gloss, and underneath it is a layer of darkness. It's exactly how the fuck it is. It's like a layer of marble. Mind you, this is from me being in the bed, looking down at past the foot of my bed to the left. Instant glance. This is not like I sat there and analyzed this shit for like a good fucking 10 seconds, because I'm gonna tell you, as soon as I seen it, but I've seen it in depth because my mind never seen nothing like that, so it logged everything. The head was like this. Like big at the top, but small at the bottom. His neck was skinny. I'm like, now in retrospect, I'm thinking like, how the fuck does that neck support that head? Number one. Number two, the bones glowed. It's like the bones were made of glow sticks. And the skin was gray. The skin was gray. But the bones glowed so much that it made the skin look green. Everything just looked green because he was glowing green. And I understood later on in life, I thought back in retrospect, that's where these motherfuckers get little green men from. But he was not little, but I'm sure there were some that are little of the same type. So bones, you could see the bones through the hand. I mean, through the forearm. It was like the bones, I didn't look at the hands, I looked at the forearms. You could see the bones through the forearm. It was like the skin was translucent. The light was so bright, the skin looked translucent. It's like you flash a flashlight through your hand, like a super bright flashlight. You'd be able to see it. Just like that, except for the bones were the flashlight. It's the only way I can describe it. So as soon as I seen that motherfucker, I took my covers just like any kid would. Don't fucking judge me. I don't want to hear it in the comment section. Oh, you a bitch. Whatever. You see what the fuck I seen, then see if I'm a bitch or not. Because that was not the only time I seen them. And now I'm desensitized to it. But check it. I took the covers, grabbed them, put them over my head, turned over towards the window, put it over like any kid would. I'm thinking like, go away, go away, go away, go away, go away. Like as soon as like, it was no more than like 2 seconds, 3 seconds of me like turning over like this. My whole body said, my whole body went stiff, super fucking stiff. And it's like my hands shot down to the sides of my body. My feet everything went straight like a board. And my covers went from my head. My covers shot down off of my feet, down to where my feet are. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it made my head turn towards it. And it made me look at it. And then I got like a more in-depth look. That's when I seen that the eyes looked like memorial glass. At the doorway, I was just stuck on the bones being glowing. But when it was beside my bed, looking fucking down at me. How the fuck it got over beside my bed without making no noise and that goddamn quick? Beyond me. But it went from the doorway to by my bedside in a matter of like 1 to 3 seconds. I can't recall it. I wasn't counting, but it was like as soon as I said, it was like, no, boom. It's like, no, you're not finna cover yourself, because I was crying to see aliens on the damn TV screen. And I'm guessing that a child's passion is so strong that what you wish for, you will manifest. So, and as we get older, that wish factor of us diminishes. But in a child's mind, you can make any wish and it comes true. So I was crying that night asking to see aliens. And my dad was like, no. My mom was really not, she was nonchalant about it. I'm going to tell you why. Here's the history in regards to that. Before I get back to the story of what happened. The history in regards to that, I learned later, is that when my father was young, he's seen aliens too. His mom seen aliens. And it was to the point where one night, his dog chased after, he said it looked like a monkey. You know, motherfucking monkeys in the inner city. So he said that this motherfucker basically leapt over the back fence by using its spindly arms to propel itself over the fence. Not gonna go into the rest of my family in regards to what they seen. But on my mother's side, my grandmother used to always take my mother out and say, hey, look, there they go right there in the sky. You feel me? That type of shit. So they knew about it. But my mother had a more like a benign experience or relationship with it, versus my father had more of a fearful relationship because of the family and the a lack of knowledge of what it was. The lack of knowledge creates fear. My mother's side had knowledge of it, so therefore she didn't fear them. You see what I'm saying? Me as a child, I didn't know what the fuck was standing beside my bed. So I'm sitting over here, shook as shit. I covered my head up with the shit, with the covers. But as soon as I did, my whole body went stiff and my whole neck was just like looking at it. All I could do was look, and like everything was tight. Everything was tight. And I was trying to turn my head away from it. And the only thing that I could move freely was like my eyeballs. But I was so intrigued. I was looking at it. You know what I'm saying? But I finally got so afraid. I was like, you know what? Fuck this shit. And I started to turn my head away from it. And as soon as I turned my head away from it, I turned it to the window. In the window, you see the flaps like this? Like imagine a giant searchlight of ultraviolet proportions starts going from the bottom blind, each blind up. You know what I'm saying? It was searching from boom, boom, boom. And as soon as my eyes, like the light met my eyes, I did like that, closed my eyes, turned away. I opened my eyes back up. I was in the fucking backyard. No bullshit. Same position as I was in is in the bed, laying down flat. The reason why I knew I was in the backyard is because I was in the fucking air above the stream that ran through my backyard. I looked to the porch in hopes that my dog was still there, because I wanted my dog, by the name of Kisu, rest in peace. I wanted my dog to come save me, because this is a child's mentality. I was thinking, yo, dog, come help me out. Come help me out, because we always got a savior mentality when we're younger. It's like, dog, come help me out. No dog. Didn't see no dog. He wasn't on the porch. He wasn't under the porch. That motherfucker was hiding somewhere. I know he was hiding. Because if I was scared, he was scared too. You know what I'm saying? So I realized I was in the backyard because I seen the back porch to my left. And I started looking. Fuck yeah, I was in my backyard. And as I looked to the right, I noticed that I was still in the same laying down position as I was in the bed, but there was a light beaming on everything. So when I looked back from where he was to my body, I looked up like, what the fuck, where's the light coming from? And as soon as I looked to the source of the light, I was out again. Out again. Now I know where that fucking saying, don't look into the light or don't go into the light, whatever the fuck that shit, don't go into the light, that shit come from. Because you'll be out of it. It's just like, you'll be out of it. The next thing I know, literally. And it took me years to have recollective dreams as to what really happened. But the next thing I know, the next conscious memory that I have was me sitting on the edge of my bed like this. Just sit. I open my eyes on the edge of my bed like. Ah! Then I started fucking crying. I started crying. No bullshit. I started crying. My father then again came in the room, started whooping me. What the fuck you crying? What the fuck you in here crying for with all that bag of shit up in here crying? Motherfucker wake me up with a... You feel me? And I told him what happened. Like a dumbass. I said, the aliens came and got me. Aliens came. He said, no fucking aliens came and got you. Stop lying to me. So I kept trying to tell him, aliens came and got me. Aliens came. Aliens came. Whooping. Because he whooped me because he thought that I was lying. Not lying. Any child that keeps telling you through a whooping, any child that keeps telling you while they're being whooped that something happened, this shit happened. Real talk. Doesn't even have to do with aliens. If your child's telling you that somebody molested them, somebody fucking molested them. So your child's telling you they're being bullied on, or whatever the case may be, they're being bullied. Just believe your fucking kids, man. Just believe people. Because it caused me a lot of trauma throughout the years of my life. And it took my sister. It took my fucking sister years, fam. It took her fucking years to admit that that actually happened. This is no shit. Like, I could FaceTime her or whatever the fuck you want to call it and have her verify that it took her years to tell people that she's seen it too. Because it's a bunk bed. She was just so afraid. She stayed over in her bed, like she stayed covered facing towards the window in her bed while it was happening in hopes that it didn't get her. And then she was afraid in subsequent years that if she were to talk about it, they would come back. So she didn't talk about it. She didn't watch scary movies. She hated scary movies, all that shit, bro. And I've noticed, like, she didn't like me talking about aliens or anything like that because she was afraid that I was going to bring them back. And her fears were true. Her fears were true. But for right now, I'm just going to tell y'all that one and let that shit sink in, yo. And I had to go through school after being, like, taken. Memories coming back and things of that nature. I had to go to school. Only thing I knew how to draw, I was exceptionally well and still am exceptionally well at art, drawing, and things of that nature. I'm exceptionally well at everything I try. And so I ask myself, am I exceptionally well at the things that I try because they came to me, or was I exceptionally well beforehand so they seen the light and then came to me because they're like, okay, this is a person who is inherently talented, so we could use them to get a message out there. I had to go through years of school knowing aliens are real and knowing everything was the way it was, only to be surrounded by people who didn't know shit. And if you were to ever speak about it, they would shun you, call you a nerd, call you insane, call you crazy. And it's just like, so you gotta live with it inside you, knowing what it is and saying, oh, this is where they got it from in the movies. These motherfuckers use all that knowledge from all of the case files and make movies out of it. Where the fuck do you think they get the ideas from? They get it from people who call in like, yo, this happened to me. And then they get a leak from somebody who works in the company who takes the story and transmutes it into an actual film. It's just like that. These motherfuckers don't have no original ideas. They take crimes and they take bank heists and they take expeditions and things like that happen and they turn it into a movie. It's that simple. And it's that simple. I'm going to go into great detail later as to what's been happening, but that's the reason why, one of the reasons why I've been different my whole life is because that's one of the experiences that I had. And as I sit here and I talk to you guys for longer, you're going to realize that this is no bullshit. And I love y'all. I learned later that that group was called the Stygians. And some people call them the Tall Grays. But whatever. Alright, love y'all. Have a good night, man. That's all I got for y'all right now. I'll tell y'all another story about what some shit that happened to me later on. It's the reason why I'm so different. Love y'all.